Commission was headed by a civil servant named Sir Henry Self, grandfather, incidentally, of the author and columnist Will Self. And it was initially thought that the Curtiss P40 family of fighters would suit RAF needs. We were desperately in need of more fighters, owing to the pressure on Britain's own aircraft manufacturers. However, one of the companies that Self and his team went to visit in the US was North American Aviation of Dallas, Texas. They were already turning out Harvard trainers in quantity for the RAF, and doing so impressively. They were indeed exceeding the planned production schedule, much to the pleasure of the British Air Ministry. The North American team managed to convince the British Purchasing Commission that they could come up with a fighter superior to the Curtiss P40. So it was that in record time, a matter only of a few dozen days, they developed a design called the NA-73. It took to the air by the end of 1940, and very soon was heading for operational service. At that stage, the aircraft, which became known as the P51, US Army Air Forces service, was powered by the Allison B-1710 engine, like the majority of Curtiss P40s. B-1710 was a very dependable power plant and gave the Mustang excellent low-level performance. It wasn't so good at higher altitudes, the sort of regime for which the P51 had in part been intended as a long-range bomber escort platform. Then, the Mustang was on the strength of the RAF's Air Fighting Development Unit stationed at Duxford in Cambridgeshire. It came to the attention of the Rolls-Royce chief test pilot of the day, Ronnie Harker. Harker, the boss of that unit, Ian Campbell-Ord, felt that the combination of the Mustang airframe, which was extremely aerodynamically efficient, with the Rolls-Royce Merlin engine would produce a real winner. A conversion was undertaken. Harker test flew it again at Duxford. The result was an aeroplane transformed. One problem was that Rolls-Royce production of the Merlin was all being earmarked for British-built aircraft in the main, the likes of the Lancaster, the Mosquito, and the Spitfire, to name but three famous examples. So, production was to be undertaken for the Mustang and certain other applications, including some Spitfire marks, by the Packard Company, the automobile manufacturer in the United States. And while the Allison engine Mustang continued in service, not least with RAF Army Cooperation Command around the time of D-Day, and they were very active in that period, the Merlin-powered Mustang truly excelled as a long-range escort fighter, accompanying US Army Air Forces and RAF heavy bombers during the Allied offensive against occupied Europe. These aircraft were able to accompany the likes of the B-17 Flying Fortresses, the B-24 Liberators, the Lancasters and the Halifaxes, all the way to their targets in occupied Europe, conduct combat against enemy fighters if necessary, and then return. It really was a transformational capability, and this aircraft, this very example, which is about to perform its last pass, is itself a decorated Second World War combat veteran. It wears the famed blue nose markings of the 352nd Fighter Group, stationed as part of the 8th Army Air Force at Bodny, a unit that flew 60,000 hours in combat during just 19 months of World War II. The aircraft, named Miss Helen, notched up numerous combat sorties, including one on the 17th of April 1945 when it was escorting B-17 Flying Fortresses on an attack at railway marshalling yards in Dresden. The total of 52 Mustangs forming the escort were en route when they came across a Luftwaffe airfield at Plattling with 70 aircraft parked out on it, and the pilot of Miss Helen, Captain Raymond Litt